Welcome to watching the replay. You can fast forward if you're watching this live. Glad you're here. How we doing? How we doing? Let me know in the chat where you're tuning in from. Happy Friday. If you're watching the replay, welcome. We'll kick this off here in just a second. Glad you're here on this Friday.
We built a seven-figure business as a
Nobody cares. All right, guys, welcome. We got breaking news here. Bitcoin, Ripple, and ETH going mainstream again. I'm going to go over a couple charts here with you. Do me a favor and yourself a favor. Hit that like button. It lets more people on YouTube know that we are live. This is the place to be. Look, it's Friday night over here in Miami. We'll kick off in a few minutes. Let people join. And super excited to cover a few things. Ripple is the talk around town, and American crypto companies is a narrative you are about to see go crazy. We'll start here in a few minutes. Watching the replay, fast forward if you're watching live, hit that like button. It lets people on YouTube know we are live. Good to see you, Aaron. Cedric Almighty, what's up? Aaron, I told you so. Good to see you guys. A lot to cover. Crypto's going mainstream again. What is the change? When do you get out? How should you prepare? You have money in? Looking to put money in? We'll answer a couple of those questions here today. Start here in 3 minutes. Hit that like button. Share this stream out, and if you're watching the replay, fast forward 3 minutes from now, and we'll kick this thing off. Welcome. Alrighty, let's get this thing started here in 90 seconds. Let me know in the chat where you're tuning in from. What a day in the markets. The daily candles just closed in crypto. I'll explain what that means in just a second. Whether you are in crypto, looking to get in crypto, let's talk about it here. And just a reminder, everything is at mikesotero.com. My free course, Prepare for Market Euphoria, and my free crypto ebook, literally here on mikesotero.com. I'll put the link in the chat. Download this if you don't have a place to start in crypto. Great starting point, both completely for free. We'll kick off here in 1 minute. Welcome. Let me know what city you are in right now. All right. How's everybody doing? Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Yes, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, the whole crypto space is going mainstream once again in this next couple of minutes. I'll answer that. What does that actually mean? And how to potentially position yourself. I want to talk about a narrative that is going to be very, very big. And hopefully it does happen. I am in favor of this, especially if you live in America. Because if you live in America, you have to pay something. It starts with a T, and you have to pay it to a 3-letter agency every single year, or things happen. Now, today, been a great day in the markets. Definitely woke up with some challenges, but it's all good. Life is good. Crypto's going up. So, any challenges in your life? Not always, not all of them. But anyways, let's get into this. So, a couple key things here. This is going to be a narrative that we are going to hear a lot about. If you look at, and I know in crypto, the daily candle just closed. So here I'm on a free website called tradingview.com. If you don't have a TradingView account, it's free to set one up. And basically up here, we can look at, the markets, any market in a different time frame. So here, like on the monthly, each one of these bars represents 1 month of time. And I tend to use the higher time frames because they give us a better overall, structure. Now, I'll actually show this here on Bitcoin. We started the year with we started the decade. Okay, let me ask you guys a question. How did 2020 start for you? You guys remember those memes that would say, if the rest of 2020 is going to be like this, I don't want it. How did 2020 start though? It started essentially with a crash. It started with the pandemic. It started with something the world had never seen before. Think about this. COVID and the pandemic, there had never been a time in history where everybody was essentially, not everybody, but the world was in massive fear, right? 99% of the people were scared. 99% of the people were, just living in fear, right? And what happens in a fearful market with money? People get scared. So what do people do? They sell, they sell, they sell. And then what does smart money do? Or what is, the person that's, understands, you buy dips, you buy dips, you buy dips, and every dip you buy, that whole song. And if you look at Bitcoin historically, every time it's dipped, it's gotten bought and it's gotten purchased. People buy because they want a discount. Here's my question for you is, will you be somebody that buys at tops or bought or just buys at lows? I asked some of my students this question earlier. My dad hates me and my brother because we voted for Trump. Well, nothing you can do. Even your own family members sometimes might not agree with you. Hopefully, that doesn't affect your guys' relationship too much. But, it is what it is at this point. Life goes on, right? I didn't necessarily want the previous president to be the president, but guess what? 2020, life went on. So I asked this question to my students earlier. I said, do you know people that want to buy low, right? How many people in the chat want to buy low? And that's great. But what you want to be looking for is massive fear so you can buy lower. Because people say, well, buy low, sell high. Well, when is high and when is low? Now, that's why we use things in the markets like understanding emotions, understanding patterns, understanding patterns of people, not chart patterns, but understanding what are people doing? How are people feeling, right? And in crypto, in 2020, we started crypto, the stock market, with a crash. And I believe the next 4 to 5 years, okay, next 4 to 5 years, it's your window. Okay, it's your window. Because every so often, every like 10 years, every decade, there's something crazy that happens, right? There's something crazy that happened from 2000 to 2010, changed the world forever. Something crazy that happened 2010 to 2020, changed the world. 2020, 2030, same thing, okay? And you know what's even wild, not to go too deep into this, but the administration that's coming in is going after all of the people that essentially created this move in the market down. But forget about the politics part of that. That move down was the best opportunity in this decade. It's a move down that will probably never see those levels again in overall macro market. Now, there are some stocks that are actually returning to that level. And I'm not going to go through that here today, and I'll answer some questions. But if you see some stocks that are returning to the 2020 crash, I'd be paying attention. And yes, my shirt does say no bad days. Today's been a challenging day, but we're still here showing up. So Bitcoin right now is at 91,000, okay? We're in November of 2020, and you have all of crypto right now sitting a little bit over $3 trillion in all of crypto. Now, in a euphoric market, I don't think we're in euphoria yet, as crazy as that sounds, because of the altcoins, because altcoins really haven't moved yet, but they will. Go watch on this channel. I have a video that talks about dominance of Bitcoin down, altcoins up. Okay, go watch that video. It's on my channel. That will give you clarity of when I think altcoins are going to go parabolic. But here's what retail is going to do. Here's what mainstream people are going to do. And I'm already seeing it. Let me know in the chat if people are messaging you, asking you, hey, that crypto thing, what's going on? Is retail, and when we say retail, we just mean like people that are coming in, just trying to get lucky, just trying to throw money, trying to get rich, right? They look at Bitcoin and they see that it's like $90,000, right? Some people have never seen 9,000 in their bank account. They're seeing this and they don't understand that you can trade it and you can make money when it goes down and you can buy fractions. Then they see Ethereum and they go, oh, 3,000. And then they go down the list and then they look at Tether and they're like, oh, I can maybe afford that. And then they realize it's like the dollar. And then they look at what's next. Okay. The what's next is so powerful in leadership, right? When you're building a team or building a business, you got to have a what's next vision, right? Giving people what's going to happen next in an organization or what's going to happen next in a family, or, you know, if you have a vacation plan, well, what's the next vacation, right? You always feel better when you know what's going to show up next. But so guess what? In crypto, it's the same thing. People are looking at what's the next crypto? $200? I can afford that. And then they buy this. This is what happened in 2017. People bought Ripple because it was the cheapest coin, right? Kind of something sound familiar with Dogecoin. And then they're going to see XRP. And I actually want to watch this quick video that happened today. And if you haven't seen this, it's a great video to watch. Let's watch it here together. It's only 4 minutes.
Presidency. The blockchain payments company Ripple, which
This was on Fox Business Today with the CEO of XRP. Let's take a look.
uses XRP to enable transactions, jumped dramatically since election night. And it saw big surges earlier this week on speculation that its CEO held a meeting with the president-elect following his victory, and speculation that anti-crypto SEC chief Gary Gensler might soon announce his resignation, which we just talked about with former SEC Director Norm Champ. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse is here in a Fox Business exclusive in studio to discuss all of this. Okay, a 70% gain since Election Day. Let me guess, you are a Donald Trump fan, at least, of a presidency as he oversees a crypto world that he's very open-armed to.
For sure. Like, what a difference 10 days makes. We, for years in the United States, have had an attack on the crypto industry. It's been war. And we finally, I think, have a crypto president. The crypto industry has embraced Trump. Trump has embraced the crypto industry.
He really has. He really has.
I think it's very genuine. And I think he sees the opportunity. He sees innovation. He sees entrepreneurship. And look, I'm very excited about what the future holds. I'll point out, you were saying that XRP is up 70+%. Since Election Day, the best performing crypto assets are all U.S. companies or U.S. technology.
Did everybody hear that? Put it in the chat if you heard it. Put a 1 in the chat if you understood that. I'm going to go back and let it play one more time, and then we're going to dive deep into this.
XRP is up 70+%. Since Election Day, the best performing crypto assets are all U.S. companies or U.S. technologies. This shouldn't be a surprise. The United States SEC has been manipulating and putting pressure on these U.S. companies, U.S. technologies, and now that pressure comes off and they explode upwards. So we shouldn't be surprised by that.
So that is since when that it's all U.S.? That
really since Election Day.
Okay, since Election Day, then that really makes sense.
It does. And if you can even put a number on this, like what has Gary Gensler's war on crypto, you can put an amount on it. We went from 2.2 trillion to basically 3 trillion. So this was an $800 billion unlock just because we now are going to have rational actors who act lawfully. You know, as you know well, states have now even participated in suing the SEC and saying you are not acting lawfully and enforcing the laws.
I got to ask you, the price of XRP earlier this week spasmed. It jumped about 10% after you liked a tweet earlier that suggested you may have met with President-elect Donald Trump. Any truth to those rumors?
I mean, I think like many of your guests today, I'm not going to comment on too many specifics here. Suffice it to say.
Okay, that's a yes. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But I respect.
He met with Trump talking about crypto regulation. It's almost done. Watch this. I'm going to make it a little bit faster. And then we're going to dive into this and talk about some of the different companies in the space.
But to me, it's a yes.
Look, we have been active throughout this election cycle in being very pro-crypto, pro-innovation. And how do we make sure that this Congress and the president, obviously, it's a totally new day. And I could not be happier about like a Congress that I think is, as Norm said earlier, your guest, we got to get away from regulation through enforcement. That makes no sense.
What about this yesterday, this lawsuit filed by 18 attorneys generals, I believe all from Republican states, suing the SEC, saying that they are allegedly overreaching when it comes to crypto regulation. Did you know that was coming at all?
We did not. And I say to all 18 of those attorney generals, welcome to the party. You know, look, we have been fighting, Ripple's been fighting this fight since the very beginning. We've spent literally over $150 million fighting the SEC, an unlawful war. And so I'm thrilled they're joined. I wish they would have joined earlier. But even in their case, what they filed cites the Ripple case over and over. And so they see what has happened. They see how Gensler has overreached. And I only wish there was a way to hold the SEC, hold Gensler, hold some of these people accountable.
And we should say that earlier this week, Robinhood relisted XRP on its platform, driven by what they believe might be this new, more welcoming regulatory environment?
For sure. I mean, this goes back to like the U.S. has finally unlocking this hostility. And I do think things like Robinhood saying, I'm surprised they didn't do it sooner, but I'm glad they did it now. And, I expect
Robinhood, by the way, up 37% this month alone. Nice move for Robinhood. And Vlad, the CEO, sat here and said that crypto has been a huge driver for their bottom line.
I mean, he said that it actually is an order of magnitude, a 10x decrease in cost in order for him to trade.
Brad, thanks for stopping by.
Okay, does everybody understand? Put my camera back on here. Everybody understand what's about to happen, not just with Ripple, but all of crypto. Okay, you have a lot of stuff that is unfolding. Number one is you had Gary Gensler, who is the head of the SEC, come out yesterday and basically said his goodbye. He has not yet officially resigned. That is going to pop the entire market, especially XRP. And then you have Trump talking about capital gains on U.S. companies. So if a crypto was founded or created in America, there would be capital gains of 0%. 0%. Do you know what that would do? Really, for the entire country, the amount of people that would move to America, it would boom. The amount of new cities that would be created, the amount of new jobs that would be created, explosion. And I think that happens. I don't know if it'll happen for all of capital gains, but I can see some sort of positive 0% for some sort of cryptos. Maybe it's Bitcoin, maybe it's US companies, which makes a lot of sense. Now, the question is what are those companies? So I just went and I asked ChatGPT, Bitcoin, we're not going to count. I don't know if this is right. Was ETH created in the US? I guess now, yeah, they're now located, but ETH, I don't know if that would be created, but Ripple, Zcash, Litecoin, Monero, and this is not a list to go buy. Do not go buy anything here because I'm showing this. Dogecoin, Filecoin, hello. Protocol Labs out of San Francisco, Tezos, Maker, XLM, EOS, and then you have the ISO 2022 coins, or 20022 coins. Okay. And this was a part of really that mainstream move that happened in like 2017, 2018. This expectation of these coins working with the government, maybe some of, there was the narrative that some of these would be used to create CBDCs, cross-border payments, obviously with Ripple. And then you have these. These are the ones that are pumping right now. Ripple, Stellar, Algo, Hedera. Gary Gensler loves Algorand. If you haven't seen that video of him talking about it. Corda, I don't really know too much about Corda. So let's just take a look. How is Algorand doing today? And I'm going to make sure I don't give the exact entries on YouTube right now. All my students get that. But yeah, Algorand, my students caught this at, I think, 10.5 cents. We had a level. I sent out to hundreds of thousands of students over the past 2 years. We were looking for this level down here. We got it. Algo is making a move up. So these are all like US companies. Now, if that actually does happen, this looks very similar. Here's a free play right here because you showed up to my YouTube here. I really like this level on H bar if it pulls back. If we get that pullback now after that break of structure, I really like that. Maybe it does. Mike, do you mostly swing trade or scalp? I do both. I don't really set that belief that I'm a swing trader or a scalper. I hold until it hits my exits. Sometimes it happens fast. Sometimes it happens slow. Yesterday, I had a position on Caspa. We entered the position last night on Caspa down here. And we got wicked in. And that was my exit. My exit 2 is right there. All my students caught this. Maybe if you caught it, let me know in the chat. I have mega chills. Yep. Roy Ray says, wow. Yep. Cedric says, I'm trying to stay alive. Johnny Chow, more bullish on Mara or Riot? Both are going to do very well. Both have been doing very well since I've talked about them on this channel. I did a whole video on, did you guys watch the video on my page? On the number one, let me just show you. I did a video titled the number one underrated category. Let me just show you. Let me show you. I can show you better than I can tell you. 3 crypto stocks to watch. All right. I made this video 3 months ago. Okay. So go to my channel, watch this. It's titled 3 crypto stocks that are about to boom. And then I made another video. This is on my channel. Was it a video or was it a live that I did? I think it was a video. It might have been that 3 stocks to watch with Solana, blockchain. I mean, all of these videos have literally just played out pretty well. Okay. So this narrative is going to be really big. NBA Dave, reach out to me via Instagram. How much percent do you usually risk per trade? If I'm trading between 5 and 10%, sometimes more based on, I like to create multiple, I have multiple trading accounts. So I'll put a smaller amount of capital in an account and I'll play 25, 30% risk, to be honest, with certain positions. But on average, like 5 to 10 on my main accounts. Love crypto. I feel like I'm dreaming. Yeah. Oh snap! What just happened? Yeah, NBA Dave just messaged me on Instagram, and we'll see if you qualify. Vinny says, "Let's go." Yeah, great time to be in the market here. So let's go back to this. So I think this is going to be a big narrative that I would be paying attention to. Caspa, I believe, is also a U.S. company, so regulation could really be in favor for a lot of us. Now, did you guys watch this quick 2-minute video? Did you guys see this on my Twitter? Okay, I'm going to put the link to my Twitter in the chat. This is where I'm posting pretty much all day. A lot of updates on my Twitter, aka X. Did you guys see this documentary coming out? So Gary Gensler, I believe, is going to resign next week. That's my opinion. This documentary comes out. It's by Fusion something. I downloaded it and I posted it, so I make sure everybody see it. Fruition Productions. And have you guys seen this? It's 2 minutes. Watch this.
Is preparing to sue that crypto startup. The asset in question here is called XRP.
Jay Clayton drops this lawsuit on his last day in office, like mission accomplished.
We became convinced that this whole case was merely a show.
The SEC has become a rogue agency.
And our approach for the last several years have been just really a disaster.
Day one, I will fire Gary Gensler and appoint a new SEC chairman.
We don't need more digital currency. We already have digital currency. It's called the US dollar.
The SEC came out and said Ether is also not a security.
We believe current offers and sales of Ether are not securities transactions.
I also have, some theories as to some of the non-legal things that the SEC was trying to do.
He was also being paid as a profit-sharing partner from his law firm, Simpson Thacher. That mission of the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance was fulfilled.
Hinman has this unique personal financial interest. He could not be involved in certain matters because they benefited him financially.
These two individuals working at crypto firms that made very big bets on Ethereum.
Jay Clayton, within a couple of months, goes to One River, who benefited from this decision. When you follow the money, it paints a very clear picture. China's financial elite working with the U.S. financial elite and the regulators of the U.S. financial system to front-run the new global digital financial system.
Who wins? That's the question here. Who wins? Because I think that China wins.
Charles said the Chinese have been courting Vitalik hard.
I mean, this goes into some stuff. They're talking about Vitalik is involved with China. We're going to see. What's cool is that this is coming out on the 21st. And I think Gary Gensler knows that. And I expect him to resign before the 21st of November. So we take a look at Ripple. Ripple's price action, obviously bullish right now. No reason to short this. Maybe market drops a little bit. I think buyers would step right back in. I made a video on my page talking about if Bitcoin pulls back, where BTC could potentially, get bought up at. It's in the high 70s. Go watch that video. Mike, do you use limit orders or market execution? Mainly market execution. I rarely do limit orders. I like to choose my entry, and I'll go onto lower time frames looking for the entry. Things are about to pop. Yeah, they definitely are. Mike, how to get in your class? Message me on Instagram, and I'll get back to you probably tomorrow. I have a lot of messages I got to get back to. Yeah, it's definitely about to pop. So hopefully this video has helped you guys. Definitely you can see just the corruption, guys, the corruption. We all can probably agree that we know the governments are corrupt, nobody's perfect. Everybody is, it's all a game of money. But the level of corruption in crypto has suppressed crypto for so long. I mean, I really hate to beat the horse here, but this thing with XRP was suppressed for over 2 years. Okay. And that's why my targets are, where they are. And I'll maybe make a video if you guys want me to, specifically talking about my targets on XRP. And just like anything else, right? There's risk involved. You have to scale out on the way up. So it doesn't matter what the asset is, scale out on the way up. I am by no means telling anybody to go buy this, but last night, I saw, and this is just by being in the right communities and right group chats, I actually purchased a meme coin. And I don't do meme coins. I don't promote meme coins. I have zero affiliation with meme coins. And but meme coins are about narratives, just like cryptos. And I actually wanted to prove a point. And I actually bought my first meme coin yesterday. And by no means I'm telling you to get this. And I saw this actually at, it's actually funny because it's a Gary Gensler one. I saw this at 340,000 market cap, which is basically gambling, right? This is straight up gambling. And I grabbed some and I sold some obviously on the way up. And then I grabbed some more this morning and now it's going to the upside. And it's at 2 million in market cap. It's literally, the ticker is fired. Now, by any means, do not go buy that. I'm not telling you to buy it. I don't like the chart. It's completely risky. But here's the point, is this market is driven by what? It's driven by money. And who has money? People. And when people get emotional or when people think something, they buy into it, right? Or they sell into it, which is why you want to go take this course, Prepare for Market Euphoria. It's a free course that I have. It's 3 days. Yeah, sell into euphoria. You want to sell into euphoria. You know why I believe euphoria is, we're getting closer to it, is because of what I just showed you. That documentary for Ripple, for example, is going to expose a lot of stuff, a lot of the corruption. It's like you have to like order it, but it's going to leak, right? It's going to leak and people will be able to get it. It'll be online somewhere, probably on YouTube. And then you're going to want to probably scale out of those positions. Well, when XRP hits $10, will we see you again? For sure. But you will see me from different parts of the world. For sure. How can I join your mentorship? Reach out to me on Instagram for any of those questions, okay? So it's very interesting, but it's narratives. It's narratives. Narratives move the market. And right now the narrative is Bitcoin and crypto is the place to be. So that narrative will shift. And, you know, I've said this for probably the past 2 years, is wherever this thing tops out at, maybe it's 140, maybe it's in the 200s, there will be a significant pullback, right? There will be a sell-off of 50 to 70%. So let's say we hit 190, we come back into the 40s. I do think, you can quote me on this right now, I think we will return back into these levels here. High 30s to mid to high 40s. The question is where do we pull back from? What's the causing factor? Because there will be an aggressive sell-off. And your goal is just to not be in the complete market when that happens. You want to have a little bit exposure, like always in crypto, you can have some BTC or some SOL or some ETH or some XRP that you never sell. But should you round trip your portfolio? What a round trip means is that you buy, let's say, here, market goes up, you never take profit, and then you just ride the market all the way back down. That happened to a lot of people on Maker. And I gave the position on Maker, right? I gave Maker to all my students sub $500, sub $600. So we got into Maker last year in March. Let me know in the chat if you caught this. We got into Maker here. Yeah. $4,000. Yeah. And guess what? Now Maker made a huge move up, a 600% drop, 600% gain, and then it dropped like 73%. Okay. So then you have a huge sell. So imagine you bought here and imagine this thing does this. You just literally sat in this position for over a year and you didn't get anything out of it. You are the Freddie Freeman of crypto. Well, you know I like the Dodgers. So I appreciate that. The Dodgers 2020 World Series hat on. Come on. Sadly missed Maker, but it's okay. Yeah, and it's okay, guys. You don't need to have every single crypto. And I'll answer some questions in the chat if you have any. As you type, you don't need to have every single crypto. Think about the narrative. So I'm really going to be looking at and focused on these US companies because they're probably, I think that will happen. and this is not political, but if Trump wants to make crypto the capital of the world, he tells you, if you live here, you live in America, and you pay taxes, normal taxes, 0% capital gains on at least the crypto US companies. Now, Bitcoin, I don't know if that would be in that. I don't know how you prove where Bitcoin was created, but that would be the explosion of a US economy. Think about all the companies, okay, that are holding. Let me give this to you. Let me give this to you in this example. If they did that, companies in US holding Bitcoin. Now, maybe Bitcoin wouldn't be on that list. Maybe it would. I think it would. But what if they say, okay, well, if you're holding Ripple and Algorand, you know what happens to some of these companies? They start adding other cryptos to their balance sheet. Until when would you hold XRP? A lot higher than where it's at now. I've been in XRP for years. I'm okay holding it for the next 6 years, to be honest with you. See, I don't need the cash that's in my portfolio, but of course I will scale out on the way up. So have a plan to scale out on the way up. When do you think, what's up, Angelina? When do you think HASA will finish? I don't know what that is. What's HASA? HOSA? I don't even know what that is. Jessica said I did. So imagine if there's 0% capital gains and you're a Tesla or you're a Riot or you're Exodus or you're some of these companies, Nexon, that already have crypto. So these companies is a list of US companies that are publicly traded, okay? Publicly traded that are holding Bitcoin. So right now in the US, there's about 32, billion dollars of companies, right? MicroStrategy has 250,000 Bitcoin, and they're about to buy a lot more in BTC. So imagine the benefits that they would, imagine the money that will flow into Bitcoin and other cryptos if they pass that. And you have 18 attorney generals right now filing lawsuits against Gary Gensler and the SEC. Why are they doing that? They're doing that because they know they're going to win, because the SEC has overstepped their ground in the past 4 years and has actually caused harm, okay, why's my dog barking? To Ripple and to everything in this space. Yo, guys, give me 1 second. I don't know why he's barking. What's up with this guy? Guys, give me 1 second. That's how you know we're doing a live stream here. Yo, Bentley, what are you doing? All right, guys, we're going to wrap this up. I got to take him outside. I don't know why he's barking like that right now. Probably needs to go outside. But yeah, definitely hope this helped you. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't. Would you go heavy on Riot now? Always waiting for pullbacks. And you're never going heavy. It should always be weighted in your portfolio a small amount. Okay. Just bought some XLM. When would you suggest taking profits? I do need to get off here because my dog's going crazy. And well, there's my level right there. This is literally what I drew. When did I send this out? I sent this out June 5th of last year. I haven't touched this chart. And isn't that funny? Isn't that funny? Yeah, this is a free game right here. My first exit. Did it get hit? No, my first exit hasn't even gotten hit. So there you go. Take a picture of this free game. That's what I'd be taking on XLM. We sniped at 8-cent entry. So pays to get plugged in, pays to have some mentorship. I don't blame the dog. He's excited because XRP is booming. Yeah, he knows he might have a bigger house here soon. Bentley knows the vibes. Yep, thanks, Mike. Appreciate you guys. All right, hope you all have a great Friday night. Be safe, and let's get it. Great time to be in crypto. Great time to be alive. Much love, y'all. If you have any questions, last thing, if you have any questions, you can reach out to me on Instagram. And if you haven't already, go to MikeSotero.com and register for my monthly State of Crypto call. I do this call once a month. It's a private, exclusive call. It's recorded and sent out. The last month, I had Mr. Ryan Farbstein, who's done hundreds of millions of dollars in Bitcoin real estate transactions. I'm working on a very special guest for November. I believe the next State of Crypto call is not tomorrow. It's next Saturday, November 23rd. So make sure you guys get registered here, and then you can go to programs, and all these free resources are literally there for you.